bundling and scrapping and getting ready for the new setup. Open up here. First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG Technology Screens. And we're not doing any videos, like we're not showing any demonstrations or anything like that. But I do want to talk about the new change that's coming to the office, and um, not dealing with cardboard, because I got cardboard stuff set up at my home front. But this is a professional cardboard setup. We just needed something for the time being for the walls, because again, like I said, we can't touch the walls. But finding out that there's two holes right there, and I forgot that's where the whiteboard was at, I can put my screen there. Now, as for on the other side, because that involves invisible technology, you have to go frame and stand and all that. He has this bunker going in, and this is really easy to do. You don't need any tools to do this at all, period, because I don't have a shop to do this at. So I can go to Home Depot and I can basically get them to cut the wood for the size that I want, which is fantastic. So it's an easy system to put together. Now, the Lord blessed us with the knowledge to be able, some good juice, I'm smelling from here. He blessed us with the knowledge to be able to not only build our own cabinets and anything we want. It is a very simple idea to put things together much more faster, quicker, more efficient. These items will come apart and put them back together again, so that's what I love about it. And it's extremely lightweight, super lightweight. He also gave us a blessing of new cases, and these cases are all made out of wood, and it's freaking amazing. I got a chance to go through the blueprints of it all, and it's actually amazing how we're going to do this. So, I have here checking on other people's wooden PC cases and how they went about putting these things together. Now, as for the icebox and the PC I have over here, which is the Nuclear Jungle, I want to keep all the parts in here neon. All that I want to glow in neon, because that's part of that whole theme. But I do want the outside of the case to be wood. That I definitely do. And let me see. That's something I do want. I want to keep all that, but I want a wooden structure around it. Look at some of these setups they have in here. There's some of these people who did these systems. That is absolutely amazing. That's beautiful. That's how I want my steampunk to come off. I want my steampunk with something like that. Not something like that, but I like the design. But my steampunk's going to have a all wooden look to it. The Nuclear Jungle is going to be what it is. It's going to have the whole nuclear design. The freezer box is going to have a different design to it. I am bringing in a 200 millimeter fan, because it has to go a certain way to give it that kind of freezer look to it. So that I am working with that on that. This is a real nice one. I like how they did this. Wow, that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I like that classy retro look to it. That is pretty cool. That's a nice job right there, PC Gamer. I want to save you guys. I'm definitely going to have to subscribe to this. There's nice stuff on there. No, I keep getting bombarded by your notifications. That's what I don't want. Yeah, I'll have to go to Amazon and get some wood stain. Cherry oak wood stain. Yes, I'm gonna need. I think I'm gonna do it maybe in a cherry oak. Maybe a walnut. Walnut wood stain. Yeah, walnut would be perfect. Yeah, I think we're doing a walnut wood stain for that case. We got 2 cases I gotta build. So my cases are roughly gonna cost me about $35. About $35. All the pieces I need to put together. There's about 30 pieces that put the whole thing together. So we're still scrapping, which means I'm still in here taking stuff apart on how I want to set all this up. The screen I need to design for the see-through screen is pretty easy. We got the attachments here and here, here and here, and here and here. Allow me to slide those pieces in. I have to put a rail system across here in order to be able to slide my pieces in like a giant pest dispenser. I can slide right across. I'm gonna lock right in here. I know where to get the piece for that. And that's just a regular wood frame. I'm gonna need a bunker for it because that's Taco's bunker, which is, like I said, very easy to do. And it's required. You can do this with no tools whatsoever. It's like putting together Legos. All the pieces are already pre-cut for you. That's basically about it. My frame for the bottom half is roughly about the size of a postal box. So the postal boxes that we did the frame for the bottom base is about measuring tape. Let's also measuring tape here. It's roughly 14 by 12. About 14 by 12. Ours is going to be 12 by 12. 12 by 12 is how I'm going to do mine. Yeah, because I don't want it wide. I want a very thin case. Well, he needs it wide because he needs for his bunker. So we got to do it 12 by 12. It's a foot by foot. So it'd have to be about 2 feet and have to be 2 feet. So let me show you what we're going to have to do. This is for Taco's bunker. Excuse my handwriting, it's going to be pretty crazy in this one. I finally got everything organized on my desk. I'm so happy about that. My desk was such a mess. Finally got in there and got everything organized. Find all my stuff ready. Okay. So, the other one I'm going to hang on the wall for right now. I can't show you the PC case builds yet. It's a little complicated, but I can show you. What are we hitting right here? I'm not seeing what I want to hear. Seeing what I want to see, not here, but anyway. Go back, get out of there. There we go. So basically, simple, easy build. Our frame at the top. This is our frame at the top, which is roughly, we got to count how many. It's 108 inches, right? So that's 4 feet high by 8 inches. So that'd be roughly 4 feet high by 8. So that's pretty easy to do. So our frame would have to be 8 feet. It would be 8 feet would be the frame, and the sides would be 4 feet, because that's the panels. The panels are basically we line four of them together. We get a screen. You get 108 inch at 235.1. So that's 4 feet. But when you buy the wood only comes in 5 feet. That's the small. No, they do make it in 4 feet. They make 4. We're buying 4 right now, so we have to do 4. But it'd be simple just to get 8. If we get 8, 8's cheaper. 8 is about $2. So 8 feet of wood is about $2. So we'll buy 1, 2 right here, this one and this one, and we'll buy 1 here, which is all we need, because they're going to cut this in half. This will make 4 on each side, so that's just 1. That's $8 right there. And then for the top, they're going to cut this in half, so we have 4 feet here and 4 feet here, 4 feet here and 4 feet here, which means this works out better because we want to be able to transport this. The lift I'm getting to go back and forth, I get an extra large lift, but still I don't want to have pieces of wood sticking up this guy's car. So it's better if we break it down in 4s. On top of that, it's easy for me to transport it in, put it together, take it apart. So we have 8 here, 8 here. We'll have it cut in half. So now we got 4, 4, 4, 4. And then all we have to do is get the brackets, flat brackets, which we'll have to put flat brackets on this side and that side, on both sides, here and here, to make it one long piece again. This side is 4. So we'll have our L brackets inside. L brackets inside. Because this screen is transparent, we can't have any beams in the middle of the screen, because this will basically put a block in the middle of the screen. So you have to make the frame sturdy enough where you don't need support beams in the middle. So basically, you're going to put L brackets inside here, inside here, inside here, and inside here. They can't be on the outside, because if you lay that surface against it, they're not going to lock real close to the frame, because there's going to be about 1 inch of a bracket sticking up that's going to throw it off balance. So these brackets are going to be inside, here and here. And then you're going to get another set of longer brackets, and you're going to put them on the outside, here and here. This reinforces the frame so it doesn't bend, it doesn't go anywhere. Except for these on this side are going to go outward, and these are going to go inward. These are out, these are in. The reason why these are out, because when you put the platform in, you can actually bolt these down to the platform. So when you build your platform is pretty easy. What we're going to do here is we have same thing here. We have 8 here. Bottom here, we don't need 4. We have 3 here and 3 here. So 3 feet here, 3 feet here. Going outward this way and this way, which is going to be the top part of your base. This is going to be 2. We need 2 feet here. We can usually do a foot, but Taco's bunker is going to be in here. So we need to be 2. So this is going to be 2 feet. Here's going to be 2 feet. That's going to be 3. That's going to be 3. Legs coming down is 3. Legs coming down is 3. And this is 8. 8 here, 8 here. So when we break it down, we got to cut these in half too, because we need this to be able to be transportable. So these are going to be cut to 4, 4, 4, and 4. And then you put those brackets here to make sure they stay locked together. Pretty easy to do. And then here, where you have your joints at, keyboard's in the way, where you're going to have your joints at. These are your joints right here. This is where everything comes together, in those joints right there. You can put an L bracket across here, which I don't want to do. I want the L bracket underneath of it. So we'll take an L bracket, put it here, L bracket, and put it here, like so. So now you have a L bracket. See that little corner at? You have an L bracket here. You have an L bracket here. That's where we have it at. And each one of these corners, the same L bracket that'll lock all that together nicely. Now you're going to have this gap in between, because it's going to be a huge hole here. So since this is actually a foot across, they make these square panels. The square panels are basically 12 by 12. So you got 12 by 12 in these panels, and you get like 30 of these panels for roughly about 20 bucks. So 12 by 12, because this is going to be roughly 2 feet across, you're going to run 2 of these 12 by 12 panels, which are going to give you 2 feet across this way. So if you take your panels, 1 and 2, this now gives you 2 feet. 2 feet, that's what that gives you. So you can put your panels in dot, 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 all the way across. Pretty easy to do. Pretty easy to do. Now what I want to do for mine is I want to run another one across here. Another rail across here. The reason why, because when we put the panels in, we need the panels to meet on the edge of each side here. So that's why they connect in here, 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 and that's it. Easy to put together. Those little panels are 30 for 20 bucks. They're very sturdy. All this together, put together for pretty much enough, and you can take the entire thing apart, put it in the bag, and take it with you. Very easy to do. I know it's crazy, right? This is how I draw my blueprints. So everything I build, every screen I ever built, you want to check out my skill level, you go to our, matter of fact, we need to start posting that site more. You go to our site under www.ileg-technology-screens-info, and this is where you get our stuff, where we build our stuff from. As a matter of fact, I'm about to put that on our website, basically the how-to page on how to build stuff. But it's pretty easy and very simple to put it all together. Now that we have this assembled, pretty easy to do, the next stage is Taco's bunker. So Taco's bunker, right here, and here. This is already built. You know, here's all built right here. And we got the frame sitting on top of it. That's all done. So now we have this bottom piece here. And then we're going to put a piece down here and a piece down here. So this is already about 2 feet wide. That's enough room for Taco to lay around in there. So inside of his bunker here, this is where Taco's going to be at right here. Meow, meow, meow. Best way I can draw you, Taco. You draw me that way? Yeah, that's what I'm drawing you. So this is Taco right here. So in this section right here, I have an area where I can put my stuff here. But on this side, we're going to cut the panel different. We're going to put a panel here, and we're going to cut the panel so it fits a screen of 12 by 12, which is actually the size of this unit, 12 by 12. So you can put a 12 by 12, two 12 by 12 panels in here, and we can cut that to put a screen in there for Taco. It's going to be a black rear projection screen with a QME projector on the opposite side, and a small port where we can take all the hot air from the front and push it right out from the back, because I don't want anything in here with him. So we can redirect that air out to the back of it. Put an exhaust fan on that side. Taco will have his screen right here. Of course, with all comfortable stuff and LED lights and all that. It's not going to be that cramped. I want it more like this. I want to have plenty of room that he can actually stand up in that thing if he wants to. And then I can put my junk down here. He's got his nice little bunker there. All this comes apart. Easy McCheesy. I can run LED lights on this side, which are blue. On this side, but Taco's will probably be a nice soft white. He does like blue, by the way. That is his favorite. And this section right here is just for me to put junk in here, here, and here. And Taco's got his bunker back. All made out of wood. And it's very easy to do. Simple. Now, you know, you're probably looking at it like, what the freak did he just draw? In my head, I see it differently. I literally see it definitely differently in my head. The same thing when I build these machines back here. And I explain it, I said, well, there's no point in explaining it to you. We got to build it, because that's usually how we do it. So, let me show you some of the crazy stuff that I have built. I'm blessed to build. Let me see. Let's go over to our other site here. We have a how-to page on here. All the stuff we build on here. Let me see my how-to page. So this is on my how-to page. We should have built things from scratch. This is a projection screen setup that I built from scratch. And everything from cutting it to basically going in and basically sizing the fabric, all that, the whole 9 yards. This is a frame build. That's a frame build over here. That's another frame build over here. This is my brackets. All different types of brackets. This is a 200-inch screen I built in my place over here. So this shows you how to put together a 200-inch screen. You definitely want to make sure if you're doing 200 inches, you want to make sure that the board is actually 4 inches across and not 2, because you don't want to build it frail. Make sure we pause that, because I want to be going back. How to build a fixed frame, another one right here, trying to build fixed frames. This is the screen I built, so that's the one I just showed you. That's it right there, finished. Oh, I know how to build. That's the screen I just put together over on that side over here. This is showing you easy way how to hang a screen. So that screen is hanging. It's levitating. All blueprints there. Anything you want to know about hanging screens, levitating screens. Here's another one on how to install screens outside with a spring support system. So these come in handy if you got an area with a lot of wind blowing back and forth and you want to keep the screen stable. So basically this is a spring system. It'll actually move with the screen. So when the wind hits it, it'll move with it. So they're having too much tension. If the wind strikes it and it takes it down, it can't take it down because there's spring systems up there. We built one of those. Showing you how to run and put your brackets in, all that stuff. Put the whole thing together. Of course, on our amazing black technology screen paints. And let's go over here. Let's show you what's in right here. Let me see building tutorial. Let's fixed frame screens. Tension screen. This is a good one. I said if you're going out and spending freaking $400, $500 for a steel tension screen, because they are expensive. We show you how to build one out of wood. Very cheap to do. So those screens you get that have the grommets built inside of it, that right there shows you right from the door to how to be able to build your frame without basically spending $300 and $400. You can literally build it yourself. Very easy to do too. Now you can use bungees, you can use rope. It's up to you on how you want to do it. But it's a fantastic way to build a frame, especially when they have grommets in it. Show you up close. So when we do this work at the end of the day, we show people a lot of interesting ways on how to build their screens. Some people y'all don't have, the other people that don't have that skill level. Y'all don't build nothing. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. And honestly, I've seen people who claim that they know about projection builds. You don't know about projection builds. That's a ground standing projection screen. It's designed to hold 100 to 120 inch motorized projection screen with lid light system attachment hookup. My dad was a carpenter, by the way. So building skills, I have that. I'm trying to put all this stuff together. Look at that. That thing was sturdy, and no way you could take that thing down. It was back there for a couple of windstorms, it wouldn't even come down. Now, instead of you taking the buckets, when people take buckets and they throw cement, don't put cement inside of it, because again, unless you're going to make it stationary, where it's going to stay there, then you put cement in it. But what I did was I basically put a bolt system with washer system so I can remove the buckets at will if I want to. So I can drop some bricks in there, sandbags in there, whatever I want. But that's how I use my bucket system. I make my planks wide enough so they can't fall over, and you can put bucket systems on each side of those to make sure it stays. Now, when you're doing a screen like this, one of the things you have to worry about, if you don't have it against a wall, wind's going to hit, it's going to blow the screen away. That's why we put a rubber seal behind the back of it. It's kind of the same kind of like rubber material that they use for roofing. That's what we use for the back of it. There's the screen coming down right now. So now I got a standalone outdoor motorized projection screen, and it fits to 120 to 100 inches. That's one of the more of the funner builds I did. I hope you know that when you get into this field, you're going to have to know how to do that. You're going to have to know how to build projection screens. That's one of the things you're going to have to know. And half of you don't even do 235.1. You don't know anything about the 235.1. 239.1 is a whole section of a different screen. It's what you call true dedicated home theater. And all I see as people doing on their site is the original, the 16.9. So if I need to build a 235.1, how are you going to show me how to do that one? You don't even know what projectors they use. I mean, we know we can set up a 235.1 and the projectors are cheap. We're the ones who figured out the whole ViewSonic hidden gem. Acoustic screens. Y'all don't do acoustics. I know that for a fact. I had somebody tell me about painting over elite acoustic screen with that freaking screen paint. You would have damaged that screen. You'd have blocked every freaking hole on that freaking screen that causes it to muffle. Building frames so you can basically install speaker systems. Have a 235.1 at 158 inches, have built-in speakers in it. Now see how the wood's not flat? See how it stands outward this way? That's so you can load speakers into it. That's why it's done that way. Now the ones we do now, like the one I'm doing in here, lays like this. You know why? Because there's a halo system installed into it. That's why. I'm putting a halo system in it. And this is roughly about 4 inches. 4 inches in height. About 4 inches wide and about 1 inch in height. That's what these are right here. This is showing you some of the my levitating. This is my levitating. What is it? Levitating. This was going to be the levitator? Oh, this was going to be a levitator. This is a levitating screen I put in there. That is levitating. Let me see how to build a fixed frame screen. There. How to paint a aluminum projection screen. They don't know how to do that right. I've watched their demonstrations. First things first, you're supposed to tape that what do you call it? Yeah, velvet. Always take the velvet. You can make a mistake with your roller. You can roll over that back and you'll damage it. You'll never get it back to the original state. So you have to tape over that. Another thing they'll tell you that when you tape the frame up, you have to tuck it underneath the frame itself. If you don't, and you run that tape along it, when you put that paint in, you're going to have a little thin stripe all the way around it with the paint you put in there. You'll damage the screen. Another thing they don't teach you is padding the frame. Now, we started padding the frame way back about, we built the 200-inch screen with padding frames. Now we got people coming to me, you got to pad the frame. Yeah, you copied off of us. That's why. We started padding the frame because somebody made a dumb suggestion about pulling out the freaking bar in the back. You don't want to do that, trust me. It'll be a nightmare trying to get that. That's where I got my chair came in. Yeah, it's my chair that came in. My gaming chair. They sent 1/2 of it. Look at the freaking goes in my chair. Yeah, somebody suggests you pull the bar out after you paint it. Don't do that. Don't know what they're talking about. Definitely doesn't know what he's talking about. What happens, this is an elastic surface right here. When you stretch and you paint over this, that elastic surface is no longer there anymore. So that means if you take that bar out, you're going to have a heck of a time trying to get it back in. So never ever pull out the bar ever. So this is our painting in the screen and right now. Basic one-coat application, easy to do. I've painted in dozens and dozens of these screens. Let's see. Oh, styrofoam projection screen. So for Rogers, again, don't know jack at the end of the day. I can't express that enough how you don't know jack. This is a different kind of styrofoam. It's called insulation styrofoam. And the styrofoam you thought we were talking about was the kind that you, when you buy a package, you get that nitty gritty English muffin kind of, that's what he thought we got. No, this is insulation. It's a different type of styrofoam. This is actually made smooth so you can paint over top of it. This is what happens when you go back and check my videos. You don't know what you're talking about. This is styrofoam, smooth insulation. It's much easier. It's lightweight. You know, if you don't have, no one's going to snap it off and break it. By the way, it's fantastic because it's cheap. And that's my NEC NP 1150. I got that for about 40 bucks. So we try all kinds of stuff. See how beautiful that looks at the end of the day? That's styrofoam. I would love to be able to get Rogers in a panel to ask him some questions. I bet you would know. I bet you can straight today hits him no jack. I've already asked him about that gain range nonsense. I've got no response back on that, but we got to take it to court anyway, so I'm going to get the answer sooner or later. Challenge this company in court. I want to know what that stuff is. You're going to explain that to me. I got to see this one. Look at that. That's all styrofoam. So you got people at the end of the day that want to spend a lot of money. Nobody wants to spend a lot of money. Fixed frames can be expensive. You don't have the money. Guess what? You take our technology, coat it over top of styrofoam. That's what you get. And I got to find that gain because I'm about to put my screen in. My screen is going to be roughly 5 feet by 9 feet. My screen's big. I'm putting in. Over here, that whole wall, I'm going to put a big screen in there. And guess what we're going to use for our screen? Tablecloth. Yep. A water-resistant, wrinkle-free tablecloth. And for those of you sitting there saying, who would do a tablecloth? I would, because I did a bed sheet. This is actually a bed sheet projection screen. Now I got sitting around, I was paying Carl like 40 to 80 bucks for a blackout cloth surface. Very good surface, by the way, but still, I was paying him 40 to 80 bucks. And I'm sitting on the bed, I'm thinking, why can't I use a bed sheet? You know how cheap a bed sheet is? It's like $7. Especially for a king size? Cheap. So I turn one into a screen. Put it all in. I did that with one hand while I was basically holding the phone. Bed sheet. A bed sheet. A $7 bed sheet. So I love it when people come on and say, we don't know what we're talking about. We know more than you do. This site right here has one of the biggest grids. It has the biggest grid on outdoor projection screen demonstrations. There's a challenge on it. All our pages have challenges attached to them for other companies to try to match what we do. So because of our little experiment there, guess what? That saved people a lot of money. Then I'm going to Carl, sorry about that, Carl, and spending 40, 80 bucks for some black core surface, a bed sheet. That's the whole purpose of our technology. We can turn anything we want into a screen. So, next week, I'm going to get myself a $22 weatherproof tablecloth and a few strips of wood and turn it into a screen that can beat any screen on the market. $7 bed sheet. And for those of you trapped in the dark, I guess, notice in all the demonstrations we're in fully lit environments when we do this stuff. You guys in these dark environments talking about, oh, look at the ambient light. No. Tabby tension screens. Have y'all painted these in? This is a different type of screen than motorized. These are tabbies or tensions. You see that little line that runs from here to there? You have to be extremely careful with that line. You hit this thing, you'll mess up the screen. You'll throw the tension off. Now, you can't say you've done a tension screen unless you've actually done a tension screen. Now, for those of you at the end of the day, this is how easy it is for our application to go down on a tension screen. Now, when you have somebody saying that their product has like a bit of a thin light coating, Danny kept saying he had a thin light coating, skin light coating. This is why he required for all screens to be laying flat on the ground. Because if you try to paint that screen with a thin light coating, it's going to be like trying to paint your walls with milk or water. It'll be running all down the screen. There's no thickness there for the paint to stay there. If you put your roller in there and you lift it up, there's paint splattering everywhere. God forbid if you ever had to paint a ceiling with that stuff. It's too thin. So that's why he advised you to lay all surfaces flat to the ground. Because there's no way in the world you'd be able to paint that in. Now look at this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this painting. Easy. One coat. Not going back over the screen 30, 40 passes over and over again. That's it. That easy. That's how easy it should be for you to paint the screen. You should be able to do that with one hand with no problem. If you got to go in there and you have to do that demonstration and roll back over it and roll back over it and roll back over it, there's going to be a problem there. And I did that with one hand. Now, as for you, Fernando, I can turn my lights on. You can't. I never could understand that demonstration he did talking about the benefits of this screen versus a white screen. He turns the lights out. Why did you turn the lights out? Oh, I got your stuff here. We already know why. It doesn't work. Keeps washing out on us. Full lit environment. Now, this is what you're supposed to see. You're never supposed to see editing in this process. For the customers, if you're watching a demonstration where they're painting over a screen and all of a sudden they edit it, that means something went wrong in the drawing processing time. That is never supposed to happen in any demonstration. You're supposed to be able to see that screen from finish to end dry right in front of you. Yep, there's one right there. Ah, easy, fast. Another paint down on the screen. We just pick off the wall. Where is this at? Oh, this is over in Haddon Town. Over here. Now, I've seen some people, when they do this, when they paint a screen down, unless the screen's ultra black, then we don't care about the borders. We can go right back over the screen because it's ultra black. But when you have, I've seen people paint the entire screen. They didn't do a professional job at it. Paint the entire screen, paint the borders and everything with it. That's one of the screens displaying in the environment right there. That's the one we just painted to the floor. One coat, and that's it. Should be done. Hitting that thing 30, 40 passes, it's not going to go well. Spray on applications, spray on applications, spray on applications, painting a 250-inch screen. This is why when you got people saying that 2 quarts are going to paint up to a 300 screen, you have lost your marbles. That's never going to happen. It takes 96 ounces of our technology in order to complete a 250-inch screen. How the freak will 2 quarts do this? That's not going to happen. No. So, no. 32 ounces to paint a 150-inch screen. There's a paint down demonstration right there. I got a load on here, the demonstration. We did 16 ounces, did a 108-inch screen. Got to do something called paint downs. That's how you know how much paint is required. Guess what, Fernando? This is your paint right there. That's the difference between a white screen. That's the difference between your paint and our technology. Look at this. Look at the massive difference here on how badly his product activated in that environment. It's doing the same thing there. Not paid for that stuff too on top of that. So it's doing the same thing there that container right here under my table is doing right now. It washed out completely. Didn't even pull. We can literally go back in our archives and show unboxings on his stuff with receipts intact, showing his stuff doing the same thing it does now. That stuff never worked. It never ever worked. I'm like, what in the world did these people buy? Look at this. Where is the rest of my screen? Yeah, never worked. None of that stuff he made ever worked. Just house paint. That's pretty much what it is. These are test demonstrations. These are demonstrations for testing. More test demonstrations on this product. And now we're going to be expanding the list. We're going to be adding some more stuff to it too on top of that. So I'm going to actually expand into this list. Now that's our website here. And this website here has, which I'm still working on it. They're still working on it. We're going to be back in to get some more. These are customer demonstrations, of course. And down here we have customer picture demonstrations. That's on our promo demonstration right there. Church who dedicated that video to us. Over there. Gunmetal technology right there. More pictures. Thousands and thousands of images. Thousands and thousands of images outside. Y'all don't have images outside. We know that for a fact. Thousands more images. And this is the biggest grid. Right here, we have more demonstrations than anybody else right now.
Okay, how are we doing out there first?
Outside, motorized projection screen. This is what I find interesting. They do demonstrations. They're in a dark environment. Look, we have the same. No, the freak, you don't have the same thing I have. I can go outside with my stuff. That's 12 o'clock in the freaking afternoon. How are we supposed to have the same stuff? Y'all can't even generate in a basic environment. And you claim we have the stuff. No. Your stuff don't work. Look, see my projector? So my projector is behind glass. Way back here. That's my projector. Way back there. Pushing through glass and hitting the screen and still generating an image. And y'all can't get a screen to fire up in a freaking... are you kidding me? In that apartment. In those places you guys got... You can't get a screen to fire up? This is why we're the experts in ambient projection technology. Oh, by the way, we're built on a page on that too. On why we're called experts on ambient projection. There's a challenge on that too, by the way. Complete the entire page. No, not us. That's a cheap $60 screen. With our code, look what it does. No, you're not built like us. This is the screen I built in the backyard. That's a standalone right there. That's the screen that I put together showing my customers, how to basically put together their own standalone outdoor projection screen with LED light system to go with it. See, everything we do, we back up. Everything. We back everything up. What I want to go? Dual. We got dual screens here. Dual screens here. Dual 150 inches. Oh. So right here, see what we got for time. We're good. So for here, we got dual. Dual 150 inch setup. Look how bright that screen is. It pulls off the side. But dual 150 inches. Now for the person who doesn't know math, let me explain something to you. This is 150 inches, 150 inches. Just because these are both side by side does not make this a 300 inch screen. Mind, the screen we had at 250 inches went all the way from here to here. So how in the world would this be 300 inches? But you said that, what, 2 quarts paints up to a 300 inch screen, the equivalent of 3 100 inch screens? No. Rookies make those mistakes. Rookies always make those mistakes. Not somebody who's been painting as long as he has should have known that. You should have known the math. You don't know math. That's how I know. When you first said that, I was like, what the freak? That's a magic paint. Because that means that would be a 300 inch screen. They're both 150 inches, but they're not. That actually reads at 198 inches at 235.1 because of the length of it. There's no way in the world that's possible. And whoever believed in that nonsense in the day, I feel sorry for you. I really do. Whoever sat there and agreed that 2 quarts paint a 3, yeah, you lost your marbles. Man, y'all can't get a 100 inch screen to pull up. We could do duals outside. Man, come on. That's when y'all be sending me demonstrators, and y'all have nothing for us. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We have more experience in building. We've done more testing. We've had more projectors. We've been in more environments. We have more customers. I have more testimonies than you have in the day. And now we have technology that reads outside. Oh, please, you're not on a level. And they try. Oh my God, and they try. They try everything. No, not on our level. Well, we keep hearing it from them. Oh, we can do the same thing. We got the same capability. No, you do not. If you did, I wouldn't have cancellations from you. I wouldn't have entire states missing off your freaking shopping carts. We wouldn't have that if your stuff worked. Oh, we get you in court. You're going to explain the cancellations too. I want to know why you canceled. Now, I'm definitely going to get it out of you. I'm definitely going to get it out of you. Why did you cancel? Definitely going to get it out of you. Because the minute you say it, it goes on court documents. That's why I want to say it. It goes on court documents, it's public domain, which means everybody can read exactly what they said in the courtroom, which I'm going to put that everywhere. I don't know why. Why did you cancel it? Why did you put the money back? After telling us we can buy whatever we wanted. I'm going to get that answer out of them. Oh, man. So, we got to be out tomorrow at roughly, let me see. We got to be out for demonstration. Make sure my equipment's all charged up. I want to do a demonstration on the screen outside. I haven't been outside in a while. I'm doing some demonstrations on the screen outside. And I got a larger version of the black technology coming in for us to do demonstrations on that. Now, in the website, when you go to people's websites, I don't know how that works with eBay, but they should have I don't even know how that works with eBay, I really don't. Right here, you're supposed to have black versus black, you're supposed to have test demonstrations. All that stuff is supposed to be in there. Bam, 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 bam. A black versus black test. I wonder if he's still trying to ask for freaking $200 for some paint that's not even tested. Let's see what this is going on here. Let's see. Yeah, I told you. Soon we got to bring. Once my screen is finishing here, I'm buying. I'm gonna start buying from here. We did smarter surface already. We did paint on screens. I can get their samples. They're not hard to get their samples. They're easy to get. Been there and done that. We got to test this one. There's only one of these because they've got a bunch of these. Got to test that one. Testing this one. All these are going to be tested against our product. Now to kill on time, because I don't have time to do one by one, we're going to do them all in one hit. That's easier for me to do. See if they can basically compete with the new screen paint we have. Do 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 do. These are all white screens. That's easy. It's nothing. I'm not buying this. We can conquer white screens. White screens is easy. Honestly, for a gray paint, this is actually really good. That's really good for gray paint. It can't take our stuff, no. But this is an actual really good gray paint. I tested this stuff. It beat the crap out of this product. I got a review. I did it on the channel. So yeah, beat this product. But Jamie, where's your product? I don't see it here. I'm not seeing your product here. Maybe you got it marked underneath some other place and location. Let's see if I bring it up. Maybe we got underneath a different name or something. A result. It matches, won't resolve. See if he's here. I want to see that ridiculous pricing he got on that freaking paint. On a product he can't even back up. I told you he's a scammer. I told you from the door. He can't back up black paint. He doesn't know how to make black paint. And then he's not even here. He pulled his listing. I told you. He can't have it up there. He'll get slammed with a lawsuit. You know how temperamental black technology is? How much testing is required to have a black screen? It's very, very, very... You got to go through a lot of testing to have that technology. You can't just make that stuff off the top and go, oh, I got a black screen. No, it's a lot of testing. And then on top of that, you stole our specification sheet. So you're talking about you're going to do the same thing? You can't do batch number verification. You're even verification your own stuff. Yeah, this is usually what he does. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Scam artist. Here's a scam artist in the day. Where's your screen paint at? He pulled it. Of course he had to pull it. No one in their right mind is going to give him any money at the end of the day. First things first, he ripped off a bunch of people in the first batch of that paint. They all get ripped off. You people supported that nonsense. They're flashing everything. We know you got ripped off. We've been to y'all channels, by the way. Y'all got screwed over, didn't you? He ripped you off. That's sad at the end of the day. Who you mad at more? It's like you mad at me more, but I'm not the one that ripped you off. You bought that trashy paint the other day. Nobody told you to buy that stuff. I told you that stuff was free. He made that stuff for free, literally. And you guys turned around and bought that stuff anyway. We told you, house paint. And you didn't believe us. Well, you get what you read, what you sow. But anyway, yeah, he's not in there. He's not in there. I'm looking for him. Jamie, where you at? Where'd your paint go? He can't sell that paint. He don't know how to make black technology. That's why I had to pull the listing. And then turn around and copy my specification sheet. You can't back up our specification sheet. You don't back up your products. How are you going to give somebody a batch number verification? You don't even do testing. That stuff hasn't even been tested. We don't even know if it even exists. That whole site was a scam. First of all, the paint was free. Anybody could have made it. We got it at the desk. We made it free and sent it to them. and he sends it back to us, and then turn around and copies off our specification sheet, which he can't back up anything on our specification sheet at all, period. He doesn't even know what that stuff even does. He can't make black screen paint. Then we gave him permission to make the product, and he still couldn't make it right. Yeah. Told you from the end of the day, he's a scam artist. And watch it pop up somewhere the next day. It'll pop up, disappear. Pop up, disappear. Yeah, it ain't there. Let's see if we got, let's go with this right here. See if we can bring it up. We got Pro screen paint. Let's see. Let me see. Alright, I'm done here. I'm going to come back in and do a video on this because I need this for our archives on, the scammer at the end of the day. It basically disappears and reappears. Houdini, the Houdini of screen paints. That's literally what he does. Told you, we wrecked the site. You can't back anything up. You can't back a black technology. He doesn't have one. He never made one in his life. What's the other problem? Yeah, he stole our specification sheet to begin with. You can't back up anything on our specification sheet. You don't test your stuff. You can't do a batch demo verification. How are you going to do that? You can't even do a ship back policy. Can't do that either. He sold y'all house paint. Y'all got ripped off and you got house paint. So I'm going to work on my new design here, but I got to talk about this one right here. We'll be back. Unbelievable. These people are shit.